What is going on, guys? Today, I have brought along with me the Chief of Staff of my Discord, Zayed. We're going to be talking about basically if we think that the Admirals can take a Yonko, if they're on the same level, everything talking about power levels related to the Admirals, basically. So, yeah, not much more to be said than that. Let's just roll right into it. So the main reason I wanted to do this video is because I think a lot of people seem to severely underestimate the Admirals, and my number one go-to guy on agreeing with me that they are more powerful than most people think is Zayed. So I have brought him in here. I mean, I made a video probably about a year ago now talking about whether or not the three Admirals could solo one Yonko, and it was about 50-50 down the middle, people saying that they could or could not, which
It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean that's ridiculous to me. I said in the video that I think that any two Admirals could beat any one Yonko, and three would just be totally overkill. But yeah, I don't know why people seem to underestimate them so much.
Well, there came out. The editor of One Piece has made a magazine article about Shanks, and I know the second I say this, a lot of people are gonna flame my ass in the comments saying how Arthur from the Library of O'Hara said that Shanks can easily match an admiral, but he got called out. I'm not throwing shit at anybody, by the way. Just I'm spitting out what I'm seeing. Everyone else came out with the translation that Shanks just simply fights equally with admirals, and I've asked Japanese natives, and they said the same thing. I went on Google Translate, and it said the same thing. And Arthur got called out on Twitter, and he said that he knows that the wording says it's equal, but his opinion came in the middle of it, so I'm just gonna say it how I see it.
Right.
The editor of One Piece said that Shanks can fight admirals equally.
Yeah. That's pretty
That's how
recent,
it
right?
is.
Like that was what, a month or two ago or something?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even really make sense to think otherwise. It's like, for some reason, people seem to think that they're on this same, like, path of strength, like how in the Pirates there's different levels of strength. You go up different tiers, like Yonko Commander being one and then Yonko. But then we have the Marines, and they have actual ranks and whatnot. And people seem to think that it would go from, like, Admiral or maybe even Yonko Commander to Admiral and then Yonko. Like, that would be the three tiers, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, why is it that pirates exclusively can reach this maximum level? Being an Admiral
the
is
main
basically the maximum level of the Marines.
yeah the main two reasons I see for this is one, everybody brings up the Akainu and Whitebeard interaction, which I think a lot of people ignore certain happenings in that fight, which makes it seem that Whitebeard was like destroying Akainu, which is not the fucking case,
I don't even think
right?
that's true at all.
Yeah, that's not true. And the second reason is that the admirals fought some of the Whitebeard one of the Whitebeard commanders, and that was Marco, which everybody says that most people say that he is around Katakuri's level, which puts him leagues below the Yonko. I'm like, people need to stop saying, like, comparing Yonko commanders of one crew to other Yonko commanders of another crew. Why are we comparing Katakuri to Marco? Why? Like, there was literally in the Vibra card, Ben Beckman was set to be comparable to Shanks.
Yeah,
What's happening?
I 100% agree with that. I mean, I think that as far as we've seen, it actually seems that, like, the top Yonko commanders are comparable to their Yonko, with maybe the exception of what, Katakuri, right?
Katakuri,
That
yeah.
he's like the only one as far as we've seen. Because I think Rayleigh, I think it's a fair assumption he is probably similar to Roger. Marco's maybe not quite similar, but I think he's like on the Admiral level anyway. So
Every
it's
time I
kind
say
of the
that
same
Marco
thing.
is on the Admiral level, I give out so much proof. And
It's ridiculous. I
the
mean,
people in
yeah.
your service say, like Minerva, well, Kizaru was just not trying hard enough.
Oh, and it's
Akainu was not trying hard enough. What?
it's so, and then like, so okay, wait, so Akainu was trying his absolute best against Whitebeard though, and it's like they pick and choose when people are trying. Why is everyone not just always trying 100%? Is what
I don't get it.
You can't just
And
make these assumptions.
when they bring out that argument, I'm like, can you prove that Kizaru was not trying? But then they bring out the greatest argument of all time. They say,
The greatest
well,
argument of all time.
are you saying that Luffy fought Fujitora? Does that mean that Fujitora was trying all out? Does that mean Luffy is Fujitora?
I mean, here's the thing with that is like it's basically confirmed that Fujitora wasn't even attempting to stop Luffy based on what happens in the arc. Right, he actually destroys him.
Yeah, he went serious for a second, and he made that gigantic rubble ball, and Luffy ran away.
Yeah, Luffy's like, holy shit! Like, that's a terrible comparison, really.
Yeah, do not compare that to the Marco Kizaru. Marco clashed with Kizaru. He took his attacks. I love how people say that Kizaru wasn't trying. Here's the thing: Kizaru aimed that attack originally at Whitebeard. And named attack. He aimed it at Whitebeard. Are you telling me that attack was not serious?
No, yeah.
Are you
the
really?
whole serious thing is just like insane to me.
And Marco took 2 barrages of these attacks, named attacks, by the way. He just took them. He kicked Kizaru, and he overpowered him. Oh no, Kizaru wasn't trying. If he tried, we wouldn't get overpowered. Listen, this is what happened. I don't care what the fuck you think.
Right. So
yeah.
So okay then. This is where I think we might disagree then. So who do you think is the strongest Yonko as of right now? Like with what we know.
The strongest Yonko, I used to think it was Shanks because of my fanboyism, but now I think it's Kaido.
Okay, yeah. I'm definitely in the boat that it's probably Kaido. So then Shanks probably being number 2. So if that's the case, and Shanks is probably going to go pretty even with the Admirals, or at least maybe the original 3, let's say, then Kaido, is he going even, or do you think he has a pretty, like, big advantage over them?
I mean, if we both agree that, I know a lot of people in the comments will be like, oh, no, Shanks is the weakest, like Nick says, right? Yeah, that's, whoa. If we agree that Shanks is the second strongest, right now we've seen, I mean, we can assume that Big Mom and Kaido are having a quite even fight, right?
Yeah, that's fair. True.
Yeah, if she's having an even fight and Shanks is the second strongest of the Yonko, yeah, Kaido would probably have an even fight with the Admirals. If you want to say who would win, most of the time I would bet on Kaido because of the whole 1v1 bet on Kaido thing. But overall, they should be quite even. They should be.
Interesting. Yeah, the whole current Kaido and Big Mom thing does kind of change things, I feel like. I don't really know what the order is even anymore. Like, I would have thought that either Big Mom or Blackbeard would be the weakest, but she's so on par, it seems, that it's pretty hard to say. I don't see how Blackbeard could possibly compare to those 3, by the way. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm beginning to have some weird thoughts about Blackbeard. If Blackbeard is going to get a 3rd OP Devil Fruit, then I would think right now that he is a significant amount lower than the original, the other Yonko, because if he's on the same level as them right now, and he gets a 3rd OP Devil Fruit, he basically mid-diffs Yonko.
Right.
Is that what's going to happen? If that's what's going to happen, like,
too ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, that would make me disappointed in Oda, and I trust Oda to an extent, so I would not say that it's going to go down that way.
I mean, he isn't the first character to have multiple Devil Fruits, though, so even the first Yonko.
Wait, what?
He's not the first Yonko, actually, specifically, to have more than one devil fruit.
Who has more than one devil
Oh,
fruit?
Kaido. Kaido
Okay, shut up.
was a poneglyph
Next.
that ate the Oni
Uh-huh.
fruit, which
Yeah.
then ate the dragon fruit because he's indestructible.
Okay, you want to bet money on that?
No, I don't want to bet money on that.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't.
Uh, but yeah. So I guess that's probably true then. Kaido would probably not fare too much better. So then, okay, another thing about the Admirals. Do we think there is a huge discrepancy between the original three and the two new ones in terms of power?
I would not say that because Kizaru was portrayed to be on the similar level with Akainu and Aokiji, right? And then the article came out about Shanks, and it says that Shanks will go even with an admiral. The admirals right now are Fujitora, Kizaru, and Green Bull. I'm
Yes.
guessing he's putting all three of them on the same level. So Green Bull and Fujitora should be on the same level as Kizaru, who's on the same level as Akainu and Aokiji.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I don't even know why people always seem to assume that they were just automatically weaker. I didn't really see any evidence for that,
I don't know,
especially
yeah.
because in Dressrosa, Dofi refers to Fujitora and Ryokugyu as true beasts, which
Beasts, yeah.
kind of I would think it implies that he was actually stronger than the original three, but that's just so ridiculous that
Whoa.
I don't think I can assume that. But it's like he seems to really be emphasizing their power, so I don't know why we would just what evidence is there to assume they'd be weaker, except maybe
And by the
less
way,
cola fruits.
I know there's gonna be one guy in this comments. You know who you are, who always wanks Katakuri to be on the admiral's level, sometimes even higher,
Oh, come on.
right? Yeah, and he says, "Oh well, Future Sight is too good," right? Here's the thing: someone in your Discord said he pointed out to me that the original three admirals, they showcased Future Sight. I'm like, what do you mean? All three of them have Future Sight? Then he showed me a panel of Katakuri saying, while he's fighting Luffy, that he's able to efficiently morph his body to avoid his hockey attacks, and it's possible if you use Future Sight. You look back at Marineford, Akainu morphed his body to avoid Marco and Vista's hockey attacks. Kizaru and Aokiji morphed their bodies to avoid Whitebeard's hockey attacks. I mean, isn't that concrete proof that they do have Future Sight? I mean, a lot of people would be in the comment section and be like, it's Marineford, it wasn't fleshed out, the hockey wasn't fleshed out. I get that, but until it's proven otherwise, this is the only thing we have, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And we've already...
it's funny because when we were first introduced to Katakuri and we find out the Future Sight's a thing, I thought it was really funky because I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, so this guy is a top Yonko commander, and he has this ability, which is hockey based, and everything we've seen post time skip has been all about hockey. So I wouldn't think that this is like the only guy that can do this. I would think that all of these other characters that we have that are way more powerful than him, at least I think they are. I think all the Admirals, all the Yonko are way more
They
powerful.
destroy him.
They should probably, to at least some degree, be able to use it. And then I thought that like as it was being introduced, because it seemed so funky to me. But then by the end of the Luffy versus Katakuri fight, Luffy is using it. Like, I mean, what is he, just like the prodigy of all prodigies?
Yeah, this is the funniest thing ever, that Luffy, after one fight with someone who
Right.
has Future Sight, gets Future Sight. So are we saying that the Admirals never had
That's what I'm
someone who has
saying.
Future Sight?
Like, they have to have it. I would think.
Yeah.
How can they not have it?
Because some people, when Katakuri was first introduced and we learned more about him and he fought, people thought that this guy was the coolest character ever. So they wanted to wank him, right? They were like, his Future Sight is very exclusive. There are very few people in One Piece have it. I'm like, they just introduced it with Katakuri.
Yeah.
That's not why is Katakuri one of the like only a maximum of 10 people should no.
It
The
would
Yonko should
it
have
would
it.
be like when hockey was formally introduced. If we would assume that okay, so only a few people can do this, that would
Yeah.
be ridiculous. And then we get to Dressrosa like 200 chapters later, and we find out that everyone and their sister can use hockey. Like we have these shitty
Right.
ass vice admirals who have never accomplished anything in the story except for the like really named ones like Momonga and shit. And they have to automatically have both hockeys to even be a vice admiral. And there's like 100 of them. Like okay,
Yeah.
so it's just I think Oda has this weird way of introducing new abilities that make them seem like they're going to be exclusive, but they're just not at all.
Yeah, and everybody in the comment section who views Katakuri as their messiah, right?
I mean, he's pretty awesome.
Katakuri, yeah, he's awesome, but still, he did not show advanced armament hockey, and
No, he didn't.
Sentomaru showed it. So why is this like god tier level character like not have advanced armament? I know a lot of people will be like, they're gonna be like, he should have advanced armament, the power mochi.
No,
Unless
the
I see
block mochi.
the
I don't think that was it at all.
yeah, I don't think it
I
was
thought it was at the
because
time, but
yeah,
then like it wasn't. So I don't know.
because it was pretty much clearly explained by Hyogoro that
Yeah, no,
the
it's like way
Ryo,
different.
yeah, it's the invisible armor of hockey that Rayleigh was talking about before. That's advanced armor.
Hmm.
That's invisible. That's around the body. That surrounds the body. The hardening hockey, that's not advanced armor. You're just coating your
Right.
arms, your weapons. I mean, you could say that you could use advanced armament on weapons, since Hyogoro said you could to cut more shit, right? But I don't see like Katakuri was not doing that. He was just using a mochi arm, I guess, to pound Luffy. I don't think he was using advanced armament. At least I don't think so. Maybe the 9,000 IQ people in the comment section will correct me. But,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, as far as the overall conversation goes, I think really it's quite clear that the admirals have to be at least able to like compete with the Yonko, considering like another thing I've thought, and a lot of people are okay with this idea. They're okay with the idea. Okay, well, Akainu, he's the exception. He's at the top of the
oh,
Marines.
exception.
He's at the top of the Marines. He's the fleet admiral, so he should be like the one Yonko level character of the Marines. But okay, we had him versus Aokiji, which was a 10-day battle.
And
Which,
Jinbei literally
like,
said they were close in strength.
no, right. I mean, the implication by 10-day battle is that they were so close that it had to last that long before one of them could be defeated. So there's
Yeah.
two, and, like we've been saying, I think Kizaru is supposed to be on the same level as them.
Yeah.
At the very least. So, I don't know. I don't
And
really see him being exceptional at
And
all.
here's another thing. So in the previous generation, there was the Pirate King Roger and Whitebeard, who was like ranked to hell in every kind of medium, like the Fever cards, the story. Everybody was ranking Whitebeard. Shiki, who was portrayed to be on the same level. Garp, a vice admiral who was offered the admiral position, he was on Roger's level based on what we've heard and
Right.
seen.
He would be an
And
admiral,
Sengoku,
right?
yeah, and Sengoku and Admiral clashed multiple times with. I think that was said. I think it was portrayed that Sengoku was on Whitebeard's level too. So are we saying that this generation, the Yonko are just got so like way above the current admirals and the fleet admiral? Like, why?
Yeah,
What
there's just no-
happened?
That's the thing. Like, I mean, the admirals are at the top of the Marines, and the Yonko are the top of the pirate world. It's like, why are the pirates top tier just automatically, overwhelmingly more powerful than the top of the Marines? Just there's no
everybody
reason
just everybody just likes to put the titles. They put
Yeah.
so much emphasis on the titles. Like Oda said, if Akainu was the main character and he was a pirate, he would find the One Piece in 1 year. So he would become the Pirate King. So are we saying that if he did do that, he would automatically be number one in the verse because he is the Pirate King? That doesn't matter. That
No,
doesn't matter.
yeah.
It's just a title.
that. Right.
And the whole commander thing. Here's something else I hate this. I fucking hate this. People before the Ben Beckman card came out, people said first Yonko Commander level, second Yonko Commander level, third Yonko Commander level. They said all the first commanders are around the same level, same with the second and third commanders. But then the record about Ben Beckman came out, and it said that he's comparable to Shanks. But then what do they say? They say Ben Beckman is an exception.
Yeah,
So
it's
let me get
always
this
an
straight.
exception.
Let me get this straight. Oda you create your own rule that the first commanders and the second commanders and third commanders are on the same level, right? And then when Oda, the creator of the series, gives you a contradiction to that rule that you made up, it's an exception? No, dude, there's no exception. Your whole that rule is just thrown out the window. It's not true anymore.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
if
not
anything,
true.
like Katakuri is the exception. Everyone
Yeah,
else
like
seems similar.
you know how Ivankov was confirmed to be a commander of the Revolutionary Army. He was the commander
Yeah.
of the Grand Line, right?
Right.
Yeah. Magellan destroyed him, and Shiryu was stated to be on the same level as Magellan. So you can see how strong Magellan, like Shiryu, is compared to someone like I think this is clear that Shiryu is stronger than Katakuri. If you ask me, I think it's clear.
I would say so. I thought that Katakuri was underwhelming compared to the other Yonko commanders we've seen.
Yeah, Marco was the right hand man of the strongest man in the world, the rival to Roger. Here's another thing. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
When Whitebeard and Roger clashed, and their crews clashed, Whitebeard was taking on Roger. Who do you think was taking on primarily?
Marco.
Right?
I mean,
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
could do that?
Obviously.
And then when I say that, they're like, "Oh no, Marco could not have been the first commander. It's someone else." Who is
Dude,
this?
no,
Are you making?
He's actually really old. People keep saying that he's young. He's not. He's like
He's
40 something
45.
yeah. He's actually really fucking old. So I don't know why
And
people
then,
keep
and then
saying
they're like, "Oh, are you saying that a 20-year-old Marco was able to fight real?" Listen,
Yes is
I'm
the answer to that question.
I'm not saying that Marco was stronger than Prime. I think overall, when you look at it, Prime really should have been stronger.
Sure, for
right?
100%.
But Marco literally has a fruit that is able to hold back anyone in the verse. That's just how it is.
Basically.
Unless your name is Blackbeard and you nullify double fruits, he has a fruit that makes him able to hold back anyone in the did you read the Akainu Weaver card?
Actually, I think I did, but that was like a while ago. What specifically are you talking about?
And there were two translations. I don't know which one is more is right or not. One was that his devil fruit is in the highest tier of offensive power of devil fruits, and another one was said that it is the highest.
Yeah, that's
offensive
a huge difference.
And what did Marco do? He stopped Akainu. He stopped Akainu's Magma Fist.
Well,
and
I think, like by default, Marco's fruit has to be like the greatest defensive fruit.
Yeah,
I mean,
and do you know how Ghoul sent you that GIF?
No.
In the Discord, GIF? How he showed a GIF of the anime where Akainu pushed back Marco.
Oh,
that
I know.
Did not happen.
No, you said something. So it was just like that's not canon or something. So funny.
Yeah, that did not happen in the manga. What are you talking about?
Oh my
That's
god,
not
I remember
true.
that. That was so funny.
And I actually had a discussion with Ghoul about this, and he was like, "Dude, it did happen. You're just being a manga elitist." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That's pretty funny.
The manga's canon, anime is not. That's just how it is.
Oh,
okay,
God. That's really good.
But of course, Luffy's 2,000 times the speed of light and all that sweet shit.
Well, yeah, no. I think it was 27,000 times the speed of light. Actually,
excuse me.
I think that was the final calc. So.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, do you have any other major points you want to get to, or pretty much?
I'm pretty sure. What do you want to say?
I've said pretty much everything I want to say.
I mean, all the other points I'm sure I missed a lot of them, but of course the very respectable and civilized comment section people will point that out to me.
Sure.
And yeah,
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything.
all right.